Why do Japanese people eat so many small dishes? The hidden philosophy behind the Japanese table. Imagine sitting down for dinner in Japan. In front of you is not one enormous plate. Instead, there is a bowl of rice, a bowl of soup, a small piece of grilled fish, a dish of vegetables, a few pickles, perhaps tofu, seaweed, or another seasonal side dish. To many visitors, the first reaction is often the same. Why are there so many dishes? Why not place everything on one large plate? Is this simply decoration? Is it designed to make the meal look more expensive? Or is there a deeper reason behind the Japanese table? At first glance, each serving may seem small, but together, they form something complete. Different colors, different textures, different temperatures, different cooking methods. Nothing dominates the entire meal. Instead, every dish has a role. Perhaps this is not only a way of serving food. Perhaps it reflects a much larger Japanese idea. A satisfying life does not always come from having more of one thing. Sometimes it comes from creating harmony between many small things. Chapter 1. The Japanese meal is built differently in many parts of the world. A meal is often organized around one central dish: a large steak, a bowl of pasta, a burger with fries, a curry covering an entire plate. The main food takes center stage. Everything else supports it. A traditional Japanese meal often works differently. There may still be a main dish, but it shares the table with rice, soup, and several smaller accompaniments. One dish may be salty, another may be mild, one may be warm, another may be cool, one may be soft, another may be crisp. The meal is not designed as one single flavor experience. It is designed as a conversation between different flavors. This means the diner does not simply finish one item and move to the next. They may take a bite of fish, then rice, then soup, then vegetables, then return to the fish. The meal develops gradually. No single dish has to provide everything. And perhaps this is the first secret of the Japanese table. Satisfaction is created through relationships, not isolation. Chapter 2. Ichiju-sansai. 1 soup, 3 dishes. At the center of traditional Japanese meal structure is an idea called ichiju-sansai, literally, 1 soup, 3 dishes. The basic arrangement commonly includes rice, soup, 1 main dish, and 2 side dishes. The main dish may contain fish, meat, tofu, or eggs. The side dishes may include vegetables, mushrooms, seaweed, beans, or other seasonal ingredients. It is not a rigid law. Not every Japanese meal follows this structure. Modern families may eat noodles, curry, pasta, sandwiches, or a single rice bowl, but ichiju-sansai remains an important model for understanding how a traditional Japanese meal is organized. Japan's Ministry of Agriculture presents this rice and soup-centered format as a characteristic structure of Japanese cuisine. The goal is not to create as many dishes as possible. The goal is to distribute different functions across the meal. Rice provides the quiet foundation. Soup adds warmth and moisture. The main dish provides substance. The side dishes add color, texture, and variety, instead of one dish becoming excessively rich. Several modest dishes support one another. It is less like a solo performance, and more like an orchestra. Chapter 3. Why everything has its own dish. Why place each food in a separate bowl? Why not mix everything together? One reason is practical. Separating foods protects their individual qualities. A crisp pickle remains crisp. A delicate vegetable is not drowned in sauce. Grilled fish keeps its aroma. Soup remains warm. Rice remains simple enough to balance stronger flavors. Each food can be experienced as itself. This separation also allows the diner to control every bite. You may combine fish with rice, follow something salty with mild soup, pause between stronger flavors. There is no single correct sequence. The diner quietly creates the meal while eating it. The dishes are prepared by the cook, but the final balance is completed by the person at the table. Separate dishes also make the meal visually readable. You can see what you are eating, you can see how much remains, you can notice the balance between protein, vegetables, rice, and soup. But this does not automatically make every Japanese meal healthy. A table can contain many small dishes and still include too much salt, sugar, or total food. The arrangement is a framework. Its value depends on what is placed inside it. Chapter 4. Eating with the eyes. Japanese food culture gives great importance to appearance, not only because beautiful food is impressive, but because sight changes the experience of eating. A meal with green vegetables, white rice, dark seaweed, golden egg and red fish feels varied before the first bite is taken. Different ceramic bowls create additional contrast. A rough earthenware plate may hold grilled fish. A delicate porcelain bowl may contain vegetables. A lacquered bowl may hold soup. The table becomes a small landscape. This does not mean every home dinner resembles an expensive restaurant. Ordinary Japanese meals can be simple and practical, but the principle remains. Food is not experienced only through taste. It is also experienced through color.com, shape.com, space.com, and presentation. Washoku is recognized by UNESCO not merely as a list of recipes, but as a broader set of skills, traditions, and social practices connected with preparing, sharing, and respecting food and natural resources. A small seasonal ingredient can communicate something larger. Bamboo shoots in spring, cold noodles in summer, mushrooms in autumn, root vegetables in winter. The plate does not simply say, "This is food." It also says, "This is where we are in the year." Chapter 5. Do small dishes help control portions? This is where we must be careful. It is tempting to say, Japanese people stay thin because they use small dishes. But the truth is not that simple. Research consistently shows that larger portions can encourage people to consume more food and energy. This suggests that portion size and serving containers can influence how much people eat. A small bowl may make one serving easier to recognize. It may create a natural stopping point. It may prevent one food from taking over the entire meal, but small dishes do not guarantee moderation. You can refill them, you can serve rich foods in them, and having many different foods available may sometimes encourage greater consumption because variety keeps the eating experience interesting. Research has found that increased food variety can raise intake under some conditions. So the real advantage may not be the physical size of the bowls alone. It may be the structure they encourage. A little rice, a little protein, a little soup, several vegetables. Instead of asking one large dish to satisfy every need, the meal distributes attention across different foods. The lesson is not, use tiny bowls and you will lose weight. The more honest lesson is, make the whole meal visible, when the entire meal can be seen at once. Balance may become easier to notice. Chapter 6. Variety without excess. Modern eating culture often treats variety as abundance. More toppings, more cheese, more sauces, more choices, more food. But Japanese small dish culture can express another kind of variety, not more of everything, but a little of several things. A meal may include sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami elements. It may include food that is raw, grilled, simmered, steamed, and pickled. The satisfaction comes from change. The next bite does not have to taste exactly like the previous one. This can make a modest meal feel complete. But again, variety itself is not automatically healthy. A table filled with many fried or highly seasoned dishes is still a heavy meal. What matters is the relationship between the foods. Japan's traditional meal structure often brings together ingredients from the sea, mountains and fields, fish, vegetables, mushrooms, seaweed, rice, and soy products. The principle is not endless choice. It is purposeful diversity. Each dish should contribute something different. Otherwise, more dishes simply become more food. Chapter 7. Small dishes and the rhythm of eating. A meal served in several dishes also changes how we move. You lift the rice bowl, put it down, take soup, return to the vegetables. Choose a small piece of fish. These tiny transitions interrupt the mechanical rhythm of eating from one large plate. They create pauses, not dramatic pauses, just small moments in which the body and mind have time to notice the meal. This may help explain why the traditional Japanese table often feels calm, even when it contains many objects. The meal is active, but not rushed. There is also less pressure for every bite to be intense. Rice can be plain, soup can be gentle, a side dish can be lightly seasoned, because the meal is built from combinations. Every individual component does not need to shout for attention. Modern food often competes for our senses. More salt, more sugar, more fat, stronger flavors. The small dish table offers a different rhythm. Taste something, pause, balance it with something else, then continue. This is not merely portion control. It is attention control. Chapter 8. Why small dishes require more work. There is an inconvenient truth behind the beauty. Many small dishes can require more planning, more preparation, more washing, more storage, more time. A single bowl of noodles is easier than preparing soup, rice, fish, and several side dishes. This is one reason the complete traditional format is not followed at every modern Japanese meal. Busy households simplify. Prepared side dishes are purchased from supermarkets. Leftovers are reused. One-pot dishes replace multiple plates. The ideal and everyday reality are not always identical. That is important. Japanese food culture should not be romanticized, as though every family creates a perfect traditional meal every morning and night. They do not. But the influence of the older structure remains visible. Even a modern convenience store meal may contain a rice ball, soup, vegetables, and a small protein dish. The format changes, but the idea of combining several modest elements often survives. Tradition does not always remain unchanged. Sometimes it adapts to modern life. Chapter 9. The Philosophy of Enough. Perhaps the deepest lesson of the small Japanese dishes is not nutritional. It is philosophical. A huge plate communicates abundance through size. The Japanese table often communicates abundance through variety and attention. Nothing is enormous, yet nothing feels missing. This challenges a common modern belief that satisfaction comes from increasing quantity. A larger home, a larger salary, a larger portion, more entertainment, more choices. But more does not always create completeness. Sometimes, one overwhelming thing leaves less space for everything else. The Japanese meal suggests another possibility. Enough rice, enough soup, enough fish, enough vegetables, enough variety to remain interested. Enough restraint to appreciate each part. The word enough does not have to mean deprivation. It can mean that every part has found its proper place. Chapter 10. What can we learn from the Japanese table? You do not need Japanese ceramics. You do not need to prepare 3 side dishes every evening, and you do not need to copy Japan perfectly. The useful lesson is simpler. Before eating, look at the entire meal. Is one item dominating everything? Is there contrast? Is there something fresh, something warm, something with texture? Something that provides substance? Could one enormous serving become 2 smaller, more balanced elements? The goal is not to make eating complicated. It is to make the meal easier to understand. Many modern meals are consumed directly from large packages. We do not see the total amount. We continue eating because there is no visible stopping point. Placing food into deliberate portions may help make the choice more conscious. Although tableware alone cannot guarantee how much someone will eat, perhaps the most useful question is not, how can I eat less? It is, how can I build a meal in which no single thing has to do everything? Ending, a little of everything. So why do Japanese people eat from so many small dishes? Partly because of tradition, partly because foods are meant to retain their individual character, partly because the meal values seasonality, visual harmony, and contrast, and partly because the Japanese table was designed as a collection of relationships. Rice supports the fish, soup softens the meal, pickles refresh the mouth, vegetables provide color and texture. No dish stands alone. And perhaps that is the deeper wisdom. A meaningful life may work the same way. We often search for one enormous answer, one perfect career, one perfect relationship, one perfect habit, one dramatic change that will solve everything. But a satisfying life may be built more like a Japanese meal. A little work, a little rest, a little movement, a little conversation, a little silence, a little gratitude. None of these things is enough alone, but together, they can create balance. Japanese meals do not always try to give you more of one thing. they try to give you a little of everything. And sometimes, a little of everything is exactly enough.